What up, fighters and fight fans? Just thought we're coming to you with a quick detail. Wanted to add in, in terms of hand placement, positioning of when you're throwing punches, defensively, things like that. Things to keep in mind. You see a lot of young fighters and even a lot of MMA fighters, and maybe it's a little different for MMA. I have my own thoughts on that, but the positioning of your right hand when you're in your fighting stance, a lot of times, obviously there's a lot of people who fight with it dropped. That's probably the worst thing you could possibly do. But really my thing here today is about the difference between having that thing glued to the side of your cheek versus in front, right? I tend to like to have it in front. I think a lot of disciplined defensive fighters are going to have that in front. And there's a couple of reasons why. First, I'll talk about why having it on this, glued to the side of your head, kind of an old school traditional thing is a little tough. Number one, what I see a lot for fighters who tend to fight like this traditionally with this on the side of their head is not only does it make when I see straight line punches coming, 9 times out of 10, I see them extend like this, right? The punch is coming towards their face, and because this hand is over here, there's a little bit of time, there's a little bit of a lag between here and here. And so what happens a lot of times is I see them start to extend because they're trying to catch that punch, kind of at before it reaches its apex at their face, right? So I see from here, a lot of traditional fighters, they tend to extend. That's going to leave you open for hooks all day long, and they're going to be able to exploit that fairly easily and start throwing in feints. They wait for you to extend. You're getting caught over the top with a left hook. You're getting your ass knocked out or dropped. The other thing about that too is body shot coverage, right? So from here, I'm dropping, right, to block that. My hand isn't necessarily in a great position for a counter from here. If I want to counter with the right hand over the top, I'm going to have to really turn that punch over the top, right? And I'm almost completely out of position for an uppercut. I'm going to lose that uppercut effectively. I'm going to have to kind of come under like this. Very easy to block it, right? So, and then even my right hand, I'm turning it over, somewhat of an awkward angle. It can still be effective, still have power, but I'm throwing that from the peripheral instead of just direct line of sight shooting. Whereas having the hand in front, I'm throwing that shot straight from, and I'm able to release that target and go straight forward. It's not coming from a peripheral side. It's accurate, straight down the line, just like my jab every single time. So accuracy, I think, is a little bit better coming from here. I can still catch punches on the side, but I can also very easily catch jabs and other things coming down here. And the minute I get that touch, I know that you're not, you've got an opening, and I can easily shoot that, right? There's no lag. There's about a 6-inch difference between throwing that punch from here versus here. Say that 6 inches can make a massive difference in terms of the timing of that punch, right? The other thing too about having this here is when I drop to make that block, where's my hand? My hand is already cocked and loaded for that uppercut. Boom, 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 and then I can shoot straight, right? So the delay that it causes in having that hand on the side of your head versus in front, I mean, the only main difference is if I'm catching a kick or a punch from this side, that's all it takes, right? Very easy to make that difference, but the advantages of being able to catch straight line punches for counters and have a really nice shell defense for a block here and go straight into my counter punches without having to come from an awkward angle is, I think, is well worth it. So give it a try, work around different positions of where you're holding that hand, but just understand it feels great throwing straight line punches from here. It feels like I'm really able to sit down quite a bit better because I'm not throwing it from the peripheral and relying so much on the shoulder joint to do that work. A lot of that is literally coming from the core of my body outward. So work that detail into your fighting stance. Let me know in the comments if it makes any sort of difference or if you like it or don't like it, any additional pros and cons you might know. But other than that, talk to you guys next time.